Okay, this is just another quick video. Um, Prior to the other one I just made, this is the pole I was using. So I actually have another thing I was gonna mention. I have a therapy ball here. It's a rubber. It's pretty hard. Um, Usually people, they rub out their pains and stuff like that. Like if they got, I don't know, like nerves messed up, they need to like rub out, like maybe in their back they have a spasm and they need to get, because basically like a back spasm would be something super tight in the muscle from straining it, and it locks, and it's kind of like lockjaw, and it stays like that until you can get the muscles to loosen up, and then the tendons get relaxed to its relaxation mode again. So that's pretty much what it is. It could help your feet, or whatever. But I came up with a better idea because, like, if you want to work, since it's rubber, and you want to work small segments, like, speaking of my collarbone, because this would probably break your collarbone if somebody would have really like bam. Yeah, we don't think like that, but there's a lot of fucking weirdos out there nowadays. So you could work on this, real lightly, and eventually you can work yourself up maybe to like some wood and do that, and then eventually you can go pretty hard, on your bones. But I did use this for a while, and it does hurt more, I think, than the metal sometimes, because this is straight and it's gonna go flat kind of on the muscle. Now this kind of goes at a point, like on a tip on each round area. So like this might get into a muscle or a nerve less likely than something like this, but it can hit points really solid. So if I'm hitting myself here, it doesn't hurt as much. But if I hit it with something smaller like this, it feels like it hurts more. Like the tendons are not really conditioned as hard. And I was working this because like if you get hit here or even in here or right here in your nose, you're gonna have a big fucking bruise, or your eye socket's gonna fold, or people that get hit in the chin, when they're boxing, this usually goes bam, it breaks or the jaw snaps. So you can condition these parts of the bone. So for me, I'll just slightly, you know, because to me, as far as I know, the bones, they have fragments, every little small pieces of particle, just like metal. And metal has small little increments of fragments, that, like, wherever they get the metal from, right? They turn it into a solid, and then they're able to bend it and make it to what it is, hard, right? So your bones are the same. You have fragments. So if they're really light, when you're tapping, like you hit a bone or you hit something, it hurts. But over time, when you're working it, the pain becomes less unbearable. So, with this, I can work, the sides. You have nerves here, and then right here, it's real sensitive. You can kind of tap the nose here quite often, but this would be conditioning the face. I've seen a boxer. I don't know his. Sorry, I'm fucking my junk. I've seen a boxer. I don't know his name, but I think he's like a Filipino boxer or a Chinese boxer. But I think they're like middleweight. And there was a video I seen him in. He just kind of put his hands down and was just like, "Come on." And this dude was wailing on him like bam, 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 right? And he was just like, he looked like the Terminator. If you ever seen the first Terminator Part One, where the guy just started whacking away at the Terminator, fully Skeletored metal, and it's just like dink, dink when he was like hitting him with the pole, and he just wasn't moving and wasn't budging. The guy looked the same. That guy looked the same, just like the Terminator. He was getting whacked and nothing was affecting him. He didn't get knocked out or anything. So I'm assuming he was maybe training in the Shaolin Temple after he was released. You have to watch those videos, but they do get released out into the world again. And, maybe he just wanted to find a way from his training to be like, okay, I need to make money. So he became a boxer. I'm not going to say, for me personally, he's not like a really great boxer, but he could take some hits, and if that person gets wearing down a lot, then he would be able to take them out. But I've seen it. So if you can condition the body, who's to say you can't condition the face? I'm not saying to whack away at your face, become bruised. But you could work in small increments. Like before I started, going away with like these little hits like this, I started to roll it, you know, and this will develop on the skin because it's the same thing as calluses. Like when you work hard and you grind every day and you get calluses here, you can work that on your face. Not that you're going to develop, because some calluses are very hard and nasty and tough on some individuals, mainly males, when they do construction. I'm not saying your face is going to be like that. Your face will still be nice and smooth, but it'll be stern and hard. You could still have a nice face, you know what I mean? Don't ruin it. But these are the things I work on, and I'm little by little I've been have doing this. I don't know if you can hear it, but that it does take time. Eventually I'll be able to like really take way at it, maybe really like hit myself like this. I'm not trying to go blow, but if I can work some kind of foundation to I'll be less likely to be hurt. And another thing I can add into this video is that um, when you're engaging into a fight, right? Sometimes if you're playing around with somebody, your adrenaline kicks up. And sometimes it's a small percent of adrenaline that kicks up. So sometimes you're not realizing, like if you're playing with a friend or something, you can get a small bruise or a cut and you're like, huh, I didn't notice that. But when you're like in a life or death situation and you do, have to defend yourself or you get into a fight, you got to think about it. The adrenaline that's running through your veins and through your skin and your body, it becomes like a coating mechanism, kind of like almost like armor. So your skin and everything that you're working with, that you're, oh, I have a bump there, that you're fighting with or whatever within your body, you're able to defend off a lot more. That's why a lot of people that really get into fights, they didn't realize they got stabbed or they got cut or they got a big bruise or they're bleeding somewhere because of the adrenaline. So if you condition your body really well and you can take hits, when it comes to the adrenaline, you'll be pretty much like armor, like your whole body, your face. And then when you come out of that fight, they're like, how come you don't have a scratch or a bruise? It's because you conditioned for so long that it takes a lot more pressure, a lot more foundation of something harder to like really like damage you. So that's just my point of view on the intake or whatever. You can use a ball like this, like a therapy ball. I don't recall where I got this from, but it's just real hard rubber. It's really smooth to the touch. You can look up one of these, and then like I said, I got a steel pole from Home Depot, and this was like 10, 11 bucks. I heard there was something harder than steel. It's got some weird name to it, but it's 5 times stronger than this steel. So you can always look that up. It's on Google. Google knows everything. So, anyways, I was trying to get something that was stronger than steel. So, because like me, I like to just go straight up, head on, like fucking balls to the wall with stuff. You know what I mean? But if anything, I was just gonna work with this. It's pretty much the same. I can go as hard as I want if I feel if it's necessary. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video and have a good night. All right.